Very good.
Yeah, good to go, man.
All right. Hey, welcome to the Screen Addicts podcast, everybody. As always, I am one of your hosts, Chris Summertime Villegas.
I am Steven, One Crazy Summer Sosa.
I am Jeremy, and I'm watching The Watchmen.
Oh,
Whoa.
buddy. I knew he was going somewhere thematically with that.
With his mask. Hey, you're supposed to leave it on. What are you
And it's
doing?
Jeremy.
Oh, all right, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Pretty good, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You know, ever since we started this last time, I was really excited to do it again because it was a lot of fun.
It is, and I'm hoping we worked out some things. As you can tell, our background's a lot better because I actually planned a little bit of stuff. Instead of, hey guys, 2 seconds right before we hit record, y'all want to try this new thing?
That's typical how we do things.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. Anyways, guys, it's kind of bittersweet. We have just crossed our 4-year anniversary of being a podcast, and I believe our first episode, Steven, was a summer movie preview.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was April into May, so yeah, that's definitely the time.
And so, man, it's usually one of the ones we're definitely we look forward to because of man, there's so many movies that come out during summers, big movies, and well, that's not the case this time.
Nope.
Sad things, but we will press on as the Screen Addicts do, and we'll see what we can come up with for today's show. Today's show is about summer movies, though. We're gonna go by and talk about some of our favorite summers that have come and gone. But before that, like we always do, what have we been watching? Jeremy, you're always up first, man. What do you got?
Well, these last couple weeks, I haven't really watched much of anything worth talking about, except I did watch Extraction, the new Chris Hemsworth movie.
Sorry, don't you mean Thor?
Yeah, Thor and his producing buddies. And well, it's a good movie. I like it.
It's a good shoot 'em up movie, man.
Yeah.
And I think I heard somewhere today that part 2 is already getting a nod. Like,
we'll see what happens with that.
Well, you know, I don't want to get too into spoiler territory with it, but that's going to be kind of an interesting approach to it. Although Netflix released the number that I think somewhere along the lines of 91 million streams took place for that movie. So, you know, by digital content, that's great for them. So I'm sure they're going to find a way to fashion a sequel for it.
Oh yeah.
But I thought it was good.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie. And I went back and watched Andrew Nicole's Lord of War with my boy Nick Cage.
Oh man.
I love that movie.
You love Nick Cage.
That movie in particular is a badass movie.
It is good. I like that movie too.
And that opening title sequence is just awesome.
Is it with the bullets and the gun? Yeah,
it's with the bullet that goes from production to the head of a soldier.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Who is it? Jared Leto plays his brother, right?
Yeah,
Ethan Hawke is the cop after him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ethan Hawke does his usual Andrew Nicole movie, and
right.
You got Jared Leto there as the coked up brother, and he's a very coked up brother.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Anyway, that's all I got for this week.
That's it? 2
2 weeks?
That's I just been watching crap on TV. Nothing really.
Well, like what? That's the point.
I mean,
Yes.
I haven't been watching anything to make note of. That's
Anything on YouTube? Any like YouTube series? Because that's all the rage. We blew up on
N-
YouTube. So
No,
no,
that's right.
I got nothing.
wow.
Not from there either.
All right. Well, I
Yeah,
guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm sitting here. I was hoping you would go longer so I could remember what I
You should have
watched.
let me go first, Chris. You want me to
Oh,
go? And you can work.
yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
man. So I can
We'll
maybe
switch it up a
get
little
on this.
bit. Much like Jerome, I watched Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. Again, I thought it was a really well done film. Some of the one shot action takes, like when they're in the car chase sequence, when they're on foot to the car,
Oh
man,
yeah.
some of that stuff was really, really good. And it looks like someone's just following you, but to have to plan that out to perfection, that just seems crazy. But yeah, it was really well done. I also watched this one on HBO, the movie starring Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney called Bad Education, where it was the true story of a superintendent and his associate superintendent that were embezzling money from that particular school board up north in was it Massachusetts or New Jersey, one of the two. But yeah, it was really good. You watch movies like that, seeing Hugh. Anytime I see Hugh Jackman outside of an X-Men related franchise, it always throws me for a loop. But then it just seems like everything that he does is still really good. Like, he's such a phenomenal actor. Like, I love The Greatest Showman. I could watch The Greatest Showman all day, and he's so good in it. And I mean, he's a Tony Award winning actor, stage, Broadway. Like, he does it all. And you watch something like Bad Education, and you see him playing it pretty straight. But he's a very multi-layered guy. He's a criminal, but he's also, it's a really weird performance because he really cares about the students and he wants to do well for the school board. He's kind of like, hey, yeah, I may be stealing, but I'm also giving back to the community type of a deal. But it was pretty good. I did think that it was going to be a lot better. I was kind of expecting something like, it wasn't funny enough to be like an election type of dark satire movie, and then it wasn't serious enough to be like a more dramatic film that takes place within the school board. But it was worth the watch if you have HBO. And Sonia had never seen LA Confidential, and I made a list out for her, Madison, and Connor of movies that they have to see, right? And so Sonia had never seen LA Confidential, so we watched that one. Man, that movie holds up. That holds up so well. It's such a great movie. I love the production value. The acting is great. And we also watched on Netflix the Dirt, the story of Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Man, that was really good. I really, really enjoyed that movie. Did you see that one, Chris?
I haven't, man.
Man, and as far as biopics go, like that one ranked up there pretty high. And some of the camera work, like when they obviously go into their drug-induced binges, it gets real like crazy, kind of like you're on that journey with them. And I thought, man, some of this camera work's really good. I was like, who directed this movie? And turns out it's Jeff Tremaine, the guy that directed every episode of Jackass, every Jackass movie, Bad Grandpa. And I thought, wow, he really stepped up as far as becoming a quality director. And I thought that was pretty well done. And yeah, and I thought that was really good. That Machine Gun Kelly, everybody hypes that dude up, and I'm not a fan of his music per se, but as an actor, I have to say, man, he was really good. He played Tommy Lee, and Ramsey Bolton was in it, and that was pretty odd, but he's a likable-ish character. But yeah, I recommend The Dirt. And let's see, we also watched on Amazon Prime, I started a new show called Forever, and it is the show with Maya Rudolph and Fred Armisen, who play a married couple that end up passing away. And I didn't really know what it was about. I try to stay away from spoilers, and they play a married couple that he died in the first episode. And I thought, what? Fred Armisen's dead? Is he not in the rest of the series? Well, then she dies too. And then they spend like purgatory together, basically, in this afterlife. And man, it was really good. It's only 8 episodes. That was a good watch. I started a show on Hulu called Devs, and I believe it was on FX. Has Nick Offerman as this man who is the pioneer of this computer technology, and it was really good. Alex Garland, who wrote Sunshine, 28 Days Later, and he's the producer of the film, or an Ex Machina, Jeremy, which you love.
Oh
And
yeah.
he's the showrunner, and man, it's pretty heavy on sci-fi, but it's also a really good story. And I'll close on this one. We watched or started a new series on Prime, Hunters, with Al Pacino, because of course Sonya is going through her Pacina sance, if you will. And did either of you guys watch that, Hunters?
Not yet. I've heard it's really good, but I haven't pushed play yet.
Oh, it is fantastic. And Jordan Peele was a producer of it. I didn't realize that. Basically, Al Pacino is this old Jewish man. He's very wealthy, and what he does is he makes he creates a group of Nazi hunters, basically, and it's in the 1970s. So this group of Nazi hunters, they realize that there's a lot of German Nazis hiding out in America, posing as war refugees, just so that they're not, tried by their home country. And so they thought, well, you're not going to get away from it. So they go and hunt them down. And man, it's pretty brutal, but it's really good. Very Tarantino-esque, if you will. But yeah, I hope you're ready, Chris, because that's surprisingly all I had.
I am.
Okay, good.
And there's I can't believe I forgot some of the stuff that I watched. But okay, so per our last episode, Jeremy got me interested into Don't F with Cats.
Oh my God.
Dude, you shouldn't, man. Okay, so the way, even after Jeremy said, I watched it, it was kind of crazy, this and that, I still went and thought, like, oh, this is just about cats. I didn't know, let me get there. So Tasha's friend never listened to our podcast before, happened to catch her live, and the only thing she took out of it was Jeremy saying, go watch Don't F with Cats.
No.
So she watched it, and then she goes, what? Why did you make me watch that? I said, I didn't make you watch it. She said, it's so good that, like, it's so, and it's right up her alley with, docu murder series type of thing. And so I'm like, okay, I have to watch it now. Dude, one night I blew through all 3 episodes, and I'm like, oh my God, this dude is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is insane.
Are you a big Luca Magnotta fan now, Chris?
Oh man, I hope that, dude, like, to think that dude like started planning like years in advance, getting his alibi together, it's just insane. But what scares me too is that, like, he based all his stuff off of movies. That doesn't give us a good name, guys.
Well, no. I will counter that with a quote from Scream that states, movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative. So I'll leave it there to put us at ease, and our listeners at ease.
Yeah,
I got you.
But yeah, that's a good point. What was a Basic Instinct, right? And yeah, the ice pick. And then I thought it was funny, the not to give spoilers away per se, but like when he's talking about Manny, and then you do see 3 hands in one scene. So you're kind of like, what is this? Maybe he filmed that at a different time when somebody was there. But the assumption was that he was being coerced by somebody, to do all those horrible things. And I was like, man, I don't know. And then the whole Manny thing, I'm like, oh, that's just another character from Basic Instinct. And yeah, it's such a crazy show. I hope those two, the Body Movin and John Green were hired as like personal private detectives or something, because man, they put the work into that whole thing.
But let me tell you, okay, and it sucks because I don't want to give spoilers, but at the very end, when that hoe turns towards the camera and judges me for watching this,
Yes, in the last episode.
yes,
That was crazy. I even told that to Sonya. I was like, what the hell was this? This was an ultimate betrayal. Here we
right?
are investing our time because of quarantine. We can't go anywhere. I mean, I say that like we wouldn't have sat there and watched the whole
Right.
thing anyway.
Wow.
But yeah, she says, we need to stop watching so much TV online. We need to stop watching. I'm like, oh, well, I'm sure you got a nice paycheck to record this Netflix series.
Exactly. And I'm
Yeah.
like, she just judged me after she's like the professional Facebook stalker.
Right.
No, man, don't judge me, lady.
Yeah,
Whatever.
the nerve. That was the
Yeah,
real
right.
twist. She was probably the one helping him the whole time. I'm going to go ahead and
More
say
than
that.
likely.
Probably was.
And then let's see, moving on. We watched Tasha has been into a show called Good Trouble. It's on Hulu. I think it's a free-form show. I'm not sure, but you know how I get sucked into these teen dramas with Tasha.
Yeah, you get
Whatever.
You're really held, at your will to watch these
I
shows.
am
Outer
okay.
Banks.
Yeah, you love that young adult crap.
My sister was like, "Hey, did y'all guys see Outer Banks?" I'm like, "No, but Chris sure as hell did."
It's good. It's in the top 10 on Netflix right now.
Oh, I
Whatever.
thought you meant in like overall young
No.
adult television series.
No, but this Good Trouble,
What's it
man.
called? Good Trouble. Okay.
Good Trouble. It's pretty good. I like to have it on in the background, and then while Tasha's watching, I'm like, "Hey, wait, did that person just sleep with that other person to get back at that other person with that other person?"
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
it's
And
one.
I
of
don't even
those.
have to see it. I know the rules.
And then so as much as I have advocated for Into the Badlands, I still haven't finished it.
Mm.
And I am one episode away from finishing it now, and I'm very, very sad.
Yeah.
It's
a strong finish.
Is it? Oh man, I can't bring myself to finish it because I know I'll be done.
Yeah.
It's one of those. So I'm watching that. And then the two movies that I watched this past couple weeks, I started with Bad Boys for Life.
Mm.
Loved it, man. It falls in line with all the other Bad Boy movies. Even though Jeremy's hating on it.
No.
He changed his tune after the fact.
I watched it. I'm satisfied with it.
That floating head over there is definitely changed his tune. Dude, you're like Krang and Ninja Turtles. Yeah, it was good.
Man, and again, I don't want to give spoilers away or anything like that because it's a fairly new movie. But man, some of the people that are not going to return if there's more kind of got me a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, you were texting us about it, and you were talking
Yeah.
about what Vanessa Hudgens was in it, and then we were talking about a certain scene, and I was like,
Yeah.
wait, I thought you were rewatching it, but you were like, no, that was the first time. I was like, oh, wow. I'm glad I didn't say anything else, but
Oh,
yeah.
but dude, yeah, that whole Vanessa Hudgens thing, I'm like, wow.
Mhm.
Wait a minute, Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. And then I watched The Gentleman. Man, that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good
That
movie.
was really good. I'm usually not the biggest McConaughey fan, but I liked this one.
I'll say it's not because of him. It's because of Guy Ritchie returning to form. That's been a Guy Ritchie movie that I've been wanting since Snatch. Like Rock and Rolla came out in 2006, 2007, and that was good and all, but he's done like Sherlock and King Arthur and those movies, but man, after I watched The Gentleman, I was like, okay, that's a return to form, if you will.
Yes, and man, it was a fun ride for sure. Like it kept you on your toes through it, trying to guess the twists and turns, and man, it was a good movie. So if you haven't watched The Gentleman yet, and you're a big Guy Ritchie fan, go do it now.
Mhm.
And if you're a big Guy Ritchie fan, you probably have already watched it. So, but The Gentleman, Bad Boys for Life, both I definitely recommend. Even though if you haven't seen them, go watch them. I liked them. So that's about it for me, though, man.
I have two more that I thought of, Chris.
Okay, go ahead.
And they were based on, because I'll listen to other podcasts because there are other movie podcasts out there.
No.
Screen Addicts one. And, sometimes they get they'll review one movie, if you will, and just review that movie throughout the entire episode.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, for example, How Did This Get Made? They did this movie called Star Crash. And I'm kind of backed up on episodes there. And man, it's this old 70s movie on Prime. It was just so bad. But yeah, I gotta say that was interesting. And then Peter, our good friend Peter from Podstalgic, who he does movies that specialize in older cinema, like 80s and sometimes 90s stuff. And they reviewed this old 80s movie, Just One of the Guys. And I don't know if y'all remember that. It was in 85 where the girl
she's holding the helmets over her.
Yeah, I do. You remember that
yeah.
cover art.
Heck yeah.
You probably have that poster.
It's right here.
But she poses as a guy to win like a special journalism award certification to be working as an intern for a paper, blah blah blah. And it was funny because Sonia had never seen it, and I thought, oh my gosh, you never seen this? And William Zabka from the Karate Kid's in it. He's a bad guy, so it's like all the basic ingredients for an 80s movie. And so we watched it, and she got sucked in. It was pretty, and it holds up ish, if you will. And just want to give a shout out to Peter for that one because they review it, and yeah, it was a good time. He was telling me because the you get an old DVD, right? And sometimes if it's in full screen, they don't remaster it, so it looks kind of stretched on the screen. And I was like, well, if I put the TV in 4:3, it'll be okay. And he was telling me, he's like, oh, well, it's on Blu-ray now. I'm like, oh, it is? I wouldn't mind having that. So I go to purchase it. $29.
What the crap?
I said, I will power through this DVD. It's not that important. But yeah, I just thought about those two.
Oh, awesome. All right. What do we have anything on the headline front there, buddy?
Actually, we do. If y'all noticed, I posted them up there for you. But let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. The first headline that I'm sure Jeremy is just somewhat over the moon about, and that is the fact that, and Tasha herself posted it on our Fanatics group page, Nicolas Cage will be playing Joe Exotic in the Tiger King movie. And I also heard that Lisa Kudrow will be playing Carol Baskin. Like they're looking to her to play that. And I thought, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Until I heard that it's going to be on what channel, Jeremy?
CBS. And it's going to be an 8-part series.
Oh, so it's not even a movie?
No.
So they're making an 8-part series of the 8-part documentary that we just watched.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's even worse now. I'm like, I shouldn't even have brought it up. But yeah, I mean, Nicolas Cage seems like an inspired choice. It seemed like there'd be other people out there that could, but his manic energy kind of suits. So I guess that works.
Yeah.
But
we'll see if I hope he kind of phones it in and just goes full Nick Cage.
Yeah. Well, didn't you watch Color Out of Space again, Jeremy?
Oh, I love that movie.
Man, that movie's a trip. And then another news was Taika Waititi was releasing some information about him doing a Star Wars movie. And I don't know about that because it's like you release the information, right? But then you don't have any specifics on it. So you kind of wonder, okay, is it a Star Wars trilogy? Is it a new series? Is it a standoff, a spinoff? What is it? And so it's kind of like, I like hearing about news if it's news, but I don't know. You hear all the time about producers and directors working on Star Wars projects, but yet they never talk about what those projects are. So I don't know. That's semi news, if you will. Kind of like the news that we released today on our group page was about Stallone wanting to do a Demolition Man 2,
Oh,
which okay, it's interesting. I do remember thinking how funny it was that
no, that's not interesting. That's
well,
stupid.
I meant like
Why is it stupid? I want to see the seashells again.
but it's like Demolition Man in the first one, like the future. I can't remember what year it said it was. Isn't it something ridiculous, like 2032 or something like that? And it's like
Right.
super futuristic, but
Oh God.
and so then by Sly's age, it's gonna have to be like 20 more years. So it's gonna be like 2100 or something. I don't know, but
Oh.
and then the other problem that I have with it is that Wesley Snipes is not going to be in it. And Wesley Snipes, as Simon says, I mean, that's what also makes it work. Like, that's another thing that makes it work. And I remembered when it came out, that was the whole thing. It's like, ooh, Stallone versus Snipes in an action movie, And
Yeah.
so I don't know. And of course, spoilers, he didn't survive the first one. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you go watch a Demolition Man 2 movie?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would too. I act like I'm against it, but I'd be the first fool there with a ticket for it. But I don't know. And I guess the final bit of news was that Tom Cruise is going to space, and
yeah, he is.
not metaphorically or mentally, but physically. He will be filming on Elon Musk's SpaceX for a true outer space experience where for the first time ever they will be shooting in outer space. And hey, I'm sorry, but I thought Michael Bay and the rest of the crew really went up in space to film Armageddon. So I'm just completely baffled by this.
And actually, he's teaming up with Elon Musk. He's just going to ride SpaceX up to the International Space Station, and that's where they're going to film it.
But that's still pretty cool because they've never filmed anything on the space station. So
No.
that's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, like, damn, this Mission Impossible movie is going to be crazy.
Because he's the new bad guy in the Fast movies.
Yeah, I know. They go up to space. He's working with Charlize.
And he's not going to, it's for a completely different thing that's not having anything to do with Mission Impossible. It's a completely new idea him and Musk are thinking up.
Yeah, and for sure Vin Diesel is looking at this and he's like, yeah, we gotta go to space next. We gotta get on that space station.
Yep.
So, and of course, if Fast and the Furious goes into space, I will be buying a ticket to that as well. We are part of the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, guys. Did y'all hear any other news yourselves or anything big? I mean, any trailers that you've seen that were interesting?
Hey, I posted that trailer today of your great granddad's movie coming out.
Yeah, Danny. I actually met him. We were at Spooky
At a
Empire.
family reunion. Yes.
Yeah. We drove to the reunion together. No,
Uncle Danny.
with Theo Danny. But we were at Spooky Empire in Orlando, right? And I feel he's shorter than I am. And you guys know I'm not like Shaq over here. So it's like for me to be taller than Machete, I was like, all right. I feel kind of tough over here. But it was at the Spooky Empire convention there in Orlando, and man, he's just the nicest guy, nice as can be. And we got pictures with him, and yeah, he's just a really cool guy.
So he's shorter than you.
Yeah.
So he technically, I mean, we could technically have a real life adaptation of Speedy Gonzalez.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I will write, produce, and direct. I already have ideas flowing.
Pretty much him and Tom Cruise are eye to eye.
No, Tom Cruise is exactly my height, so we can wear the same like space suits. If he needs me to film up at the
Oh,
space.
Oh, I
okay.
mean, you are his stunt double, right? You're his body
Well,
double,
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean,
dude,
when he broke his ankle, I broke mine as well. So yeah, that's
there's
what
a
I wear.
small problem with that. I doubt you would fit in the suit that he would wear.
Hey, they come in all sizes, buddy. It's like Spider-Man's. It's all baggy and it like presses against your skin.
Oh,
But yeah, I
all right.
guess that. Oh, speaking of space, I saw the new trailer for the Space Force with Steve Carell. It's it looks fine. I guess it looks funny, and they're definitely riding on the coattails of the from the creators of The Office tagline for that
Hmm.
series, and it's Netflix, so it's and they're going hard R. So I think they're kind of, man. I hope it's better than that. What's that Avenue on HBO with House Avenue? What is it called, Jeremy? This
I don't
I
know.
see. I already forgot. I watched the first episode. I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling this one. Oh,
Hmm.
what's it called? Avenue. I mean, if anybody's listening, I'm sure they're like screaming at us. It's Avenue, whatever, you idiots.
Yep.
But I can't think of
Yeah,
it. But Hugh
y'all are
Laurie's
no
in it.
screen addicts.
I know, right? We botched it. But
Yeah.
and it's really sad that we have all these shows to watch because I think we should have already been prepaying for tickets to the theaters, especially nowadays. But seems to be a very bummer summer.
Bummer summer.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, well,
yes, indeed. And that brings us to our main topic because that's how Steven does. We just flow right into there. But you
Oh my.
know, with uh, with movie theaters, and when we recorded last week, we had put that the theaters are not opening. And well, of course, as soon as we released the
Yeah.
episode, movie theaters are opening back up.
Yeah.
Um,
Are they open
and
there?
um, I believe so.
Wow. Okay.
I don't. I haven't gone to. I'm staying my ass at home. I don't care.
yeah.
But I think Texas movie theaters are open with exceptions. I think they're only allowing a quarter of occupancy into the theater, and then you have to sit so many seats apart.
All right.
Um, but that doesn't mean that studios are going to release movies.
That was kind of a hot topic this last week. We had some posts about, my friend Josh was talking about how AMC is no longer going to be showing the Universal films because of Universal's decision to not only release Trolls World Tour, but also because they said, look, we're going to be releasing both digitally and at the theater at the same time. So it's just kind of like, oh, well,
Yep.
that's not part of the deal. Like you can get 3 months of theater distribution before you do, and
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that seems to be the case. Like Warner Brothers is supposed to be dropping Scoob, the new animated feature, pretty soon, and because Bloodshot just came out in theaters, like it was out for like a week before the pandemic hit, and people were closing up the theaters, so they basically just streamlined that right away. And the Jeremy Camp movie that I still believe, so it's just kind of like, I don't know, you're put in a situation where you're hoping, from the theatrical perspective, you're hoping they open soon, but then you're like, well, you're also putting you're disregarding human health by rushing this if you're not ready. So it's just one of those really weird things. It's like some things are motivated by money, which is a lot of things, and that's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
push aside the health standpoint, and it's pretty interesting.
absolutely. But that doesn't mean that we have not had some great summers in the past. And that's what we're going to be talking about right now is some of our favorite summer memories from big movies. And just to kick it off, when we talked about this as a topic, I really couldn't pin down one specific summer
Mhm.
that I was like that was amazing, and that one stands out. It goes along in lines with some of my favorite movies that have come out.
Mhm.
Any of the superhero movies, obviously, uh, when they come out, they're always big, huge um, box office hits, and
Black
man,
Widow was supposed to be this Friday. That
uh,
was their big
Yeah.
Marvel movie.
that was gonna be crap
I
anyway.
wasn't excited for it either. I just didn't care. I was like, this is a movie that should have been done 10 years ago. I don't know why people are hyped on a character that's already dead. I know it's a prequel or in between like Endgame and Infinity War and Endgame or something. I don't know. I didn't care.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm like you, Chris. Like, I can't really pinpoint a particular summer as
Mhm.
much as I can a particular movie in
Yeah.
each summer. Like for example, when my dad, he was a principal before he retired, right? So he had summers off. So I would, go spend the summer with him. And
Mhm.
the one thing to entertain your kid, if he loves movies, what do? You go rent movies and go to the movies. So we would go see movies all the time. So I think that's kind of another reason why I was looking forward to summer movie season, because it always, in my mind, it made me think, oh, cool, this is like the time I'm going to get to see all the movies with my dad, and we can go every day during the week if we wanted to, or any day of the week. But like one that we were talking about last, I know it kind of like blurs the lines as far as movie theaters in particular, but I'm not sure if I remember talking about it last week, but Jurassic Park, going to see that movie, and it was so loud. You remember how loud it was? Like the Dolby Digital was like the new sound.
Yeah, it was like the first time that we could feel like the walls shake
Yeah,
when stuff was going down.
and like
Yeah.
you hear the raptors squeal, and you're kind of like, oh my god, like you think it's coming from the side, and Dolby, and it's like they turned it up so high. It was like at the request of Spielberg or something. All theaters need to be turned up to the max, and
Mhm.
that was like one theatrical or like one summer movie that just it was sold out all the time, and people were just in droves to see that movie. And kind of like you, Jeremy, you're talking about Independence Day. That seemed to be a big
Oh
summer
God.
movie. And
That was that when that came out that first week of July that year. Good luck getting a ticket.
yeah, yeah, and Big Willie style started because the Men in Black the following year was a big hit. So you're kind of like, oh, well, this is Mr. Summer, Mr. 4th of July.
Yeah.
And then the greatest Western of all time, Wild Wild West, came out and kind of
Jeez.
derailed all that. But I
Yeah.
don't know, Chris, what about you? Was there any particular movie in the summer that you
Well, dude, I mean, I was young, super young, but it's when Batman '89 came out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what started this whole thing for me. Like
Yeah.
movies and Batman and comic book movies. Like
Mhm.
if I had to pinpoint it back to one specific movie, uh, that started kind of a big love for movies, it would have to be that one.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think was it June?
Yeah, June of '89.
June 19th, 1989.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, like, and then just it's one of my all-time favorites.
Mhm.
So, and then any like Star Wars in the summer,
Mhm.
because I think there's been a couple at least. I
Yeah.
know here lately they've all been December, but I think there's been a couple summer ones.
Well, no, yeah, like the prequels all came out in May, if
Yeah.
I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken,
I
in like
think so.
99, '02, and '05. So yeah, they were all summer movies.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good point because it's like the sequels now are all distributed around Christmas time, which has never been the norm for a Star Wars film. But
Yeah.
going back on Batman, when you think about it, because I think Batman Returns may have been, I don't know, I don't want to say it was around Christmas time, but they had like the font of the ice and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but I do remember that Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were all summer movies, and so that was like the thing, dude. I'm not gonna lie, like Batman Forever. I love Batman Forever. I thought that movie, and I still like it. There was just so much about it. Okay, granted, I'm 12 years old when it comes out,
Well,
so
absolutely.
I'm like the target demo for it. and Jim Carrey's like riding high. He did Ace, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, and he's the Riddler now. Okay,
Oh,
and Nicole Kidman's in it, and it's just like Tommy Lee Jones is Tommy Lee Jones, but as Two-Face, he looked cool, and I thought, well, what happened to Billy D. Williams? How I thought Lando was Two-Face. What happened here? But that being aside, it's just and in the summer that came out, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be awesome, and I was a little pissed that Michael Keaton wasn't Batman anymore, but yeah, and summer
but we
movie,
still got a Batman, so
yeah,
it was okay.
and then we got another one in Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say I love that movie. I love it. It's one of my favorite ones in the series.
Mm.
I'm just kidding.
There was dead silence there.
They're like, we're gonna, close you off right
moving
now.
on. And then, dude, like I think it's one of your all-time favorites, only because it's Tom, but Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Top Gun came out, it released in
84.
84.
I
Yep.
knew it.
And now,
well, Maverick was supposed to come out this summer, but
Maverick was supposed to come out, but
I don't know.
No.
I'll tell you a summer movie that I remembered watching. I saw it 4 times in the theater, and that was Twister. When Twister came out, I believe it was 1996. Yeah, I'm going to stick with
Something like that,
96 because I remembered it was from the director of Speed, and which, of course, Speed itself came out in the summer of 94, and that's one of my all-time favorite movies. And I was like, wow, the director of Speed is making a tornado movie, and when you watch it, you're just like, holy shit, this is incredible. They're like, this is all over the place. And the special effects at the time, man, that's what was big in the 90s for us, because we were going in this transition of practical to CGI, thanks to movies like Jurassic Park, and Spielberg's Amblin company made Twister. So that's why it looks so good as far as, flying cows and all. And, but yeah, Twister was definitely one of those summer movies that it was just so good. I just loved it. I wanted to watch it again and again. Jeremy, I'll give you props to Nick Cage. Again, Nick Cage in the 90s, man, his summer movies, like in 2 years, that guy released The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off. Dude,
Yep.
all 3 of those movies are legit some of the best action. The Rock, I mean, I'll argue the end of the day about The Rock. Like, that is pure summer spectacle, and you're kind of getting into Michael Bay territory too.
Yep.
Because Armageddon comes out, and I don't know, man. There's just so many like memorable summer movies. Like, I don't know, too many to talk about.
Yeah, there is, and which makes us very sad for not. I don't know what are you gonna do without summer movies, Steven? Like,
I don't know. It's really weird. I remember when we were in high school, like Jeremy and I would like rank or like write out. Cinescape magazine would chronicle all the summer movies that came out. We were like, okay, we're gonna circle this date, circle this one, but it's just really weird. It's really a big bummer. I mean, granted, Netflix and Prime and Hulu are producing movies. Like, look at Extraction. Like, that was a well-produced, big-budgeted action film. And Six Underground just came out. So it's just kind of like stuff like that, as far as spectacle goes, follows suit, but you're not watching it in the theater. Part of it is watching it in the theater. And I don't know, man. It's kind of a bummer, but
I know, and I was still so looking forward to Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Dude, and all the animated films, like we haven't even touched on all of the animated films that came out, like Aladdin, The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, like those big summer movies. And now Pixar.
Toy Story 3.
Yeah, Pixar's summer movie is usually, guaranteed to be one of the best movies you'll see all year. And I don't know, it's just a really weird time.
Dude, what do you think? What impact is this going to have on Oscars?
Ooh.
They're allowing streaming movies to be nominated this year for the first time ever.
Well, it's because the only movies that are going to be on.
Well, last year they had streaming movies nominated. Like the
Irishman, but ones that didn't have a theatrical release.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because didn't they release The Irishman in like 2 theaters in New York?
Uh-huh.
They like,
Yeah.
oh, we released it in theater. Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, Roma, I don't know if Roma was qualified into that, but
It
I don't know.
had to have a limited theatrical release.
When you think about it, though, most movies that get nominated for awards don't really see the public eye anyway until it's
No.
after the fact. But I do
Mm.
think like streaming it'll be a battle between Netflix, Prime, Hulu. Maybe Togo on Disney Plus will get nominated. I don't know, but
Hey, and HBO Max is about to release.
yeah, and I had good news. My cable company said, "Well, since you already are subscribed to HBO, you get it automatically." So that was cool. I thought,
Yay.
well, maybe I'll just cancel my HBO and just get Max, so I don't have to do all that. But
Dude.
and another thing about awards, though, the summer is typically relegated to big popcorn movies and
Mhm.
big special effects movies, and they largely get overshadowed when it comes down to awards time. So that's typically reserved for the movies that come out in like the fall and winter, around November, Christmas. So I'm pretty sure theaters will be open by then. God, I hope so.
Dude, so we went through this whole show and I forgot, and I don't know why I'm thinking about it now, but I want to talk about it because I watched it and it was great. Little Fires Everywhere.
Oh yeah, the Reese Witherspoon show, right?
Yes, dude. Oh,
Mhm.
it's so good. It's so good. I actually bought the book and I'm reading it.
Oh wow, okay.
Wow.
Man, I was telling you about Reese Witherspoon. Talk about someone
Yeah.
who's doing it right. She's got shows on Apple. She has shows on HBO. She has shows on Hulu. And I was joking. I was like, I guess her Netflix and Prime contracts haven't inked yet or something. But man, she's everywhere right now, and that's great. That's what you should be doing.
Yeah,
Because man, if the theaters fold, it wouldn't matter if they're open or not, and it's kind of a scary thing to think about because
it is,
could you
man.
imagine living in a world like we're already living in a world without video stores? Nobody, even maybe definitely 15 years ago, I would have said video stores will be around a lot longer than they were. And man, once Netflix and Redbox came out there, they were like, we don't need to go to the video store anymore. And those went away. So you could be looking at the very next thing to go away. And that's a pretty sad thing.
Well, the movie theater industry has been a dying industry for years,
Yeah.
and this very well could be the death nail.
Dude, how crazy though would it be? I'm just thinking here because one of the best forms of social distancing right now and being able to get out is going to the drive-in movies. What if you see a big resurgence of drive-in
Well, I
movies,
mean,
man?
eh,
It's full circle.
I
Full
think that would be
circle.
awesome, because then it's like there some still active. I know that there's one in
Yeah.
Is the one in Amarillo still open?
Yeah, that one by Thompson Park still going.
Mhm. Man, I love the drive-in. That's such a cool concept, and yeah, I mean, I don't care where I watch the movie as long as I can watch it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I like that idea, but I don't think then you would have to rebuild them. You'd have to start building them again.
If you build it, they will come.
That's true. I definitely will go. I will go for sure. But yeah, man,
Dude, there's your new business right there, Steven. That's how you become a multimillionaire,
yeah,
buddy.
a chain of drive-in theaters, huh?
Called the Screen Addicts Drive-Ins.
Yeah, I like it. And we could do our before the movie starts, we can play our most recent episode. Have people sit
Hell
through it for an
yes.
hour.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm gonna cut the end of this out so nobody steals our idea.
Yeah, you should. Now it's out there. But I mean, that'd be interesting.
That would be fun.
But yeah, like I said, Black Widow was this week. Didn't really care, but it was Marvel's big May opening, and they haven't. This will be the first time that Marvel hasn't had a May opening. Well, I guess Endgame came out last April, so they kind of already broke their own streak with that regard. But
Yeah.
it's just really odd because around this time again, you'd think that the next big Marvel release is coming out, but
Yeah.
not this year.
Nope.
And and Move On was supposed to come out. James Bond was
Yeah.
supposed to come out. Like the final Bond was supposed to come out a couple weeks ago, and well, it didn't. And I don't know.
Oh,
know
it's
why?
not the final Bond. It's
Well, no,
Daniel
the final
Craig's
Daniel
final
Craig one.
Bond.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I meant.
Cam is coming on.
Oh my god.
God. Man, watch it really happens. I'm gonna be just shocked,
And I'm gonna walk. If it ever, dude, even if we're 90 and that happens, I'm gonna walk like Conor McGregor across
It's
my
just,
bedroom. Yeah,
the gorilla drugs.
that's right.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, I think that about does the show for the night. Y'all have any closing remarks?
No, I've been watching a lot of hot ones on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it got me thinking, Chris. Like some of those sauces, man, we were looking them up, and you can buy them, obviously, and
Yeah.
man, they're expensive. Like
Um,
$18 a bottle for the.
Well, see, but here's the thing, though, Steven, because I bought the bomb.
Mhm.
You're gonna eat so little of that shit that bottle's gonna last
Lasts
you like
forever, right?
10 months at least.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, it's $20, but it's gonna last you a while.
I guess that's probably why it's so high, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
But my next one, dude, a buddy of mine is gonna let me borrow this bottle of his. It's called the Source.
Okay.
And the last dab comes in at 2 million Scoville units, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, the Source marks in at 7 million Scoville units.
So you're just trying to kill yourself, aren't you?
I'm trying to make my esophagus disappear.
Chris, I mean, here's an idea. You could just go over to Jeremy's house. He'll crack open his car battery, siphon the fluid, and you could just, do that instead and save yourself some time.
I'll let him siphon his own battery fluid.
Well, I don't know, Jeremy. You were trying to call out Chris and say you were going to challenge him or some shit like that. Man, I can't do spicy stuff. I'm slowly starting to eat more and more spicy things, but I'm still like I'm weak with that, man. I couldn't. I mean, I would still do it, but man, I would be just crying, boogers. This is disgusting.
What has been your favorite Hot Ones episode so far?
I don't know, man. We're not watching them in order. We're just kind of going through them and watching like the ones that we really like. I don't know. Like today, we watched Charlize Theron and Fluffy Gabriel Iglesias. I really like the Noel Gallagher one, from Oasis, because that guy, him and his brother, they're always real known to be such jerks that to have such a personable and humorous side to him was such a welcoming avenue. But that's the thing about that show is that they get the best interviews. They ask really good questions. The Paul Rudd one was good. Jack Black, Tenacious D was good. I don't know, man. Idris Elba was on there.
I know. I watched his.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was like a big time like DJ in the music like that.
Well, he made that show on Netflix, that Turn Up Charlie, and that's basically he's producing it and co-wrote, I think, most of the episodes. It's about a DJ. So that's like him like getting it. He even directed a movie on Prime about a DJ. He's not in it, but he directed it. So yeah, he's super passionate about it. So but you go and watch that episode and you're thinking, wow, I didn't realize, he had such a diverse range of talent. I did personally, but yeah.
Have you watched the Stone Cold one?
Yes. I watched that with Chris Jericho. Stone Cold, man, he was red as your shirt, buddy. Stone Cold red after that one, but yeah, they're really good. I really like them. I don't even know. We watch so many of them now that it's like, and there's some people I have no idea who they are, and Sonya's like, well, I just want to watch it because you learn who they are and stuff.
Bobby, crap. There's one, I forget his last name. It's Bobby something, and one of the wings, like he literally shits himself.
Really?
I think it's Bobby Lee.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah, dude. He said, dude, like, yeah, Go look for that one. I like
Bobby. Okay, I'll just Google.
he literally says, "Dude, I just shit myself."
Nice.
That would be Jeremy talking all that shit. And it's like I still never get it out of my head when were we at your party for you and Tasha when your engagement party or your wedding party or something that you had at was it Owen's Corn? Maybe I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. And Jeremy he took that shot and he was just for just like a long time after the fact, he was just dying. And we were like, Jeremy, you okay, man? You're the same guy that snorted like salt. Like how
Lemon salt, yeah.
But no, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do spicy like that.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching the live. And if you're not watching it live, thank you for watching it later on.
Did we get any responses? Because again, we're still trying to, work out all the bugs to where we can interact with the listeners and viewers and stuff.
We didn't get any this time.
Okay.
But the thing is that it's also Wednesday. It's church
dinner time. Yeah.
Dinner time. So, let us know in the comments down below when do y'all think will be a good time for us to go live so y'all can watch? And
well, I think also we can make a note and post it ahead of time to let people know that we'll be, doing it
live. Yeah. But guys, like I said, thanks for joining us again. It's always a pleasure for us three, for sure. 4 years going strong, and we look to continue. And the only way we do continue is if you follow us, if you subscribe to the show, wherever you're listening to it, whether it be Apple Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify.
Pandora has their podcasts that we're on now.
And Pandora, man, we're anywhere you think you can listen to a podcast, we are probably there. And now because of this beautiful live stream, go check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll be you can keep up with the show there as well now. So guys, thanks again. And once you're there, go ahead and drop us a review. 5 stars. It just helps us get found a lot easier when you're searching podcasts. Also, if you're on any of the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, just search for the Screen Addicts podcast. We're there. Give us a follow there. On Facebook, follow us in the Screen Addicts Fanatics group. It's a good outlet for us, and that's where we're most active. That's where we're posted most of our content with movie trailers and funny memes and stuff like that. So if you're on Twitter machine, find us at Screen_Addicts, and Addicts is spelled ADDICS. And that's where Jeremy is a superstar. Yes. So follow him. Jeremy, tell the people what your Twitter handle is.
At Jeremy Marshall.
All right.
Simple.
That's about it.
And it's spelt right there, right below your floating head. So
it sure
Jeremy
is.
reminds me of what's the neighbor on Home Improvement where you only see
Wilson.
Wilson.
Where you only see the top half of his face.
Oh,
that's another thing.
Hey, it's not my fault. My webcam didn't come in today, so I'm having to use this one.
You got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
That's part of this process.
I can still see your beautiful face. But guys, thanks again. And as for me, good night.
Adios, amigos.
Good evening.